I call again on Dr. Delbert Payne to present our second nominee for the honorary degree of Doctor of Science. Dr. Payne.
Mr. President, I am pleased to present Professor Freeman J. Dyson. Professor Dyson began his career as a mathematician before turning to exciting new developments in physics, particularly the theory of quantized fields. He received a BA in mathematics from the University of Cambridge in 1945. In 1953, he joined the Institute for Advanced Study in Princeton, New Jersey, as a professor in physics before retiring as Professor Emeritus in 1994. He wrote 2 papers on the foundations of quantum electrodynamics, which have had a lasting influence on many branches of modern physics. Professor Dyson also worked in condensed matter physics, statistical mechanics, nuclear engineering, climate studies, astrophysics, and biology. Beyond his professional work in physics, Professor Dyson has a keen awareness of the human side of science and the human consequences of technology, authoring several books for the general public. In 2000, he was awarded the Templeton Prize for Progress in Religion.
On the recommendation of the nominating committee and with the approval of the Board of Trustees, and by virtue of the authority granted this institution by the Commonwealth of Pennsylvania and vested in me, I confer on you, Freeman J. Dyson, the degree of Doctor of Science honoris causa, with all the rights and privileges pertaining thereto. In testimony thereof, I ask that you be invested with the hood symbolic of the degree and present you with an official diploma.
So I'm only talking about things, and Mary Anderson actually does things. So I hope you'll listen to her more than you listen to me. Anyway, here's my little speech. Thanks to President Corbino and to everyone else who had a hand in inviting me here today to share your moment of glory. Thank you also for asking me to talk for 5 minutes. If all the talks you have to listen to were limited to 5 minutes, you'd have a lot more time to do something useful. I never attended my own graduation from college because it happened during World War II. I already had a job working for the Air Force. I was lucky to graduate just at the beginning of 4 revolutions that happened just at that time. The 4 revolutions were space, nuclear energy, the genome, and computing. Space was the V-2 rockets that Wernher von Braun was dropping onto our heads in London. Nuclear energy was the bombs in Hiroshima and Nagasaki. The genome was the experiment done by Oswald Avery at the Rockefeller Institute in New York, proving that DNA was the chemical basis of heredity. Computing was the ENIAC, the first electronic computer designed here in Philadelphia at the University of Pennsylvania to compute the trajectories of artillery shells. For the next 65 years, I had a front seat watching these 4 revolutions change the world and taking a minor part in each of them. It was a great time to be young. I helped to design a safe nuclear reactor that was a commercial success. We sold 75 of them, and they never gave any trouble to their owners or to their neighbors. I helped to design a nuclear spaceship to zoom around the solar system. That one never flew, but it was great fun while it lasted. I went to the Oak Ridge National Laboratory in Tennessee to work on the science of climate before it became fashionable. I dabbled in the science of the genome and wrote a book about the origin of life. And on the side, I wrote books for the general public about the human condition. That's enough about me. Now, a few words about you. You're the students who are graduating today. I believe you have the same kind of opportunities that we had. The 4 revolutions are not finished. Space and nuclear may be slowing down, but the genome and computing are still speeding up. The genome and computing work together to start new revolutions. Here is one example of a new revolution. David Horsler at the University of California, Santa Cruz, recently discovered 2 pieces of DNA called HAR1 and HAR2. This is probably as important as the discovery of nuclear fission in 1938 or the discovery of the double helix of DNA in 1953. HAR means human accelerated region. Those little 2 bits of DNA are almost unchanged in the genomes of chickens, mice, rats, dogs, chimpanzees. And they're strongly different in humans. That means they did something essential for 300 million years, all the time since the common ancestor of chickens and chimps. And then they changed drastically in 6 million years between apes and humans. They are not genes. They're little bits of DNA talking a language that we have not begun to understand. They are active in babies during the 2nd trimester of pregnancy, when the essential structures of the baby are being organized. You can guess where they're active. HAR1 in the cortex of the brain, HAR2 in the hand. The brain and the hand, the 2 things that make humans different from apes. I think HAR1 and HAR2 are the beginning of 2 scientific revolutions. The understanding of the language of the 97% of the genome that is not genes, and the understanding of the evolution of human nature. You're lucky to be young at the time when those revolutions are beginning. Each of them will have profound effects. Each of them will open big new opportunities. There are other revolutions beginning in other areas of technology. The shale gas revolution, distributing wealth and health more equitably over our planet, liberating us from excessive dependence on coal and oil. The manufacturing revolution that will begin when your generation has mastered the language of the genome, so that all kinds of industrial and consumer goods can be grown rather than made. It's up to your generation to make those things happen. So, my advice to you, much the same as what Mary Anderson was saying. Take chances. Don't be afraid of failing. You are doing well if your 4th job is a success. Good luck to all of you. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you, Dr. Dyson. Drs. Anderson and Dr. Dyson, we have just bestowed upon you the university's highest honor, and to have you both become alumni with the class of 2011 enriches both this class and our institution. Your names will add even greater luster to our historic list of distinguished honorees.